Unmute, sir.
Good morning, dear students. So, in the last session of the class, we started with your Bohr's postulates. So, what are the first Bohr's postulate, beta? First Bohr's postulate says that every electron revolves in the circular orbit. So, for that one, centripetal force was been balancing your electrostatic force. Second postulate says that electron revolving only in those specific orbit in which angular momentum is quantized. So, L is equals to n into h by your 2 pi. And third postulate is whenever an electron makes a transition in a stable orbit, electron energy remains constant. So electron's energy changes when it makes a transition from one orbit to your another orbit. That means one energy level to another energy level. Such transitions are called as instantaneous and involves a quantized energy in the form of what? Electromagnetic radiations of your photon. So radius of your nth model we got. Radius of your nth model we calculated by the formula Rn is equals to your 0.529 into n square by your z. Then velocity of your nth orbit we got as of your 2 pi k into e square by h into z by your n, or else c by 137 into z by n. And we got angular speed. Angular speed is equals to omega n, that is z square by your n cube. Then angular frequency. Angular frequency is also directly proportional to z square by n cube. Then time period is directly proportional to n cube by z square. Then we got a current in nth orbit. Current in nth orbit is directly proportional to z square by your n cube. Then we got magnetic induction. Magnetic induction is directly proportional to z cube and into the power of your 5. Then magnetic moment E into h by 2 4 pi into your m, or else E into n into h by your 4 pi into your m. E into h by 4 pi into m is known as of your Bohr's magneton. So today is your 17, 12, 20, 20. So let us try to do some problems based on this one bit. So the first problem, find the radius of lithium plus ions in its ground state. In its ground state. Assuming Bohr's model to be valid. So we need to calculate the radius. How do you calculate the radius of nth orbit, beta? Radius of nth orbit is equals to 0.53 into n square divided by z into your angstroms. So ground state unnadu kabatti n is equals to 1. Atomic number will become for me 3. Lithium plus ion kabatti z is equals to your 3. So radius of your nth orbit will be equal to your radius of your lithium plus ion in its ground state. N is equals to 1 kabatti n is equals to 1 is equals to 0.53. N value is 1 square is 1 divided by z. Z value is nothing but 3. So if we simplify this one, we'll be getting 0.18 angstrom. So this is the radius of your ground state. Okay. Same way. Next one. Next question. Find the maximum angular speed. Find the maximum angular speed of the electron of a hydrogen atom. In a stationary orbit. In your stationary orbit. Okay. So we need to calculate what? Angular speed. Angular speed means omega n is equals to Vn by your radius of your nth orbit. Velocity of nth orbit is 2.2 into 10 to the power of 6 into z by your n. divided by this value is 0.53 into n square by your z. This is meter per second and this one is in your angstroms. If you simplify this one, omega of your nth orbit is equals to 2.2 into 10 to the power of 6 into z square divided by, this will be equal to 0.53 into 10 to the power of minus 10 into your n cube radians per second. Okay. For angular speed, for what type of inverter? Hydrogen atom. For hydrogen atom means for 1H1. For an 1H1, Z value is equals to 1 and omega n will be maximum. Omega n will be maximum when n is equals to 1. Ante kada? Isn't, as the value increases, omega n will be decreasing. So omega max will be equal to 2.2 into 10 to the power of 6 divided by 0.53 into 10 to the power of minus 10. So simplify this one. This will go up 10 to the power of 16, 2.2 divided by 0.53. This is approximately 4.1 into 10 to the power of this minus 10 will go up. It will become 16 radians per second. 16 radians per second. So that is about your next question. Find the maximum angular speed. Maximum angular speed and n value must be equal to your 1. So just use the formula, you'll get the answer for that. Okay. Next question, student. Average lifetime of a hydrogen atom excited to n is equals to 2 state is 10 to the power of minus 8 seconds. Find the number of revolutions. Find the number of your revolutions made by the electron on the average before it jumps to the ground. Okay. So we need to calculate the average lifetime of an hydrogen atom. Excited to n is equals to 2 state is how much for me? 10 to the power of minus 8 second. So time period of an revolution of the electron in n is equals to 2. N is equals to 2, Z is equals to 1. So time period of nth orbit formula enti 2 pi into radius of your nth orbit divided by your velocity of your nth orbit, or else you can write this one as 2 pi by angular velocity of your nth orbit. Antena? So time period of your nth orbit is equals to 2 pi divided by omega n value. Just now we got 2.2 into 10 to the power of 6 into z square divided by 0.53 into 10 to the power of minus 10 into your n cube. So that comes out for me 2 pi into your n cube. This will go up kabatti divided by this value. Just now we got how much is that value? You see 2.2 divided by this value is approximately equal to 4.1. So this will be equal to 4.1 into 10 to the power of your 16. Okay, and the value of z is nothing but your z square. So now calculate the value for which second orbit. So n will be equal to your 2. So this one is 2 pi into your, this one is your 2 cube divided by 4.1 into 10 to the power of your 16 into z value is equals to 1. So if you simplify it, you will be getting the answer. A pi value approximately we can take it as 3.14. So 2 cube is nothing but of your 8 into 4. Sorry, 8 into 2 divided by 4.1. 4.1 you can take 4 approximately and try to simplify it. You will get 12.25 into 10 to the power of minus 16 seconds. So this will be your time period. Now he's asking what in the problem right now. Find the number of revolutions. How do you calculate the number of revolutions? Number of revolutions is equals to number of revolutions. Number of revolutions is equals to given time divided by your T2. Time in తెచ్చాడు average 10 to the power of minus 8 divided by T2 value is 12.25 into 10 to the power of minus 16. So that will be equal to your approximately 8.22 into 10 to the power of 6. So this is your number of revolutions. How I got this one is time period T will be equal to your n times of capital T beta. So n is equals to small t by your capital T. So time period relation. See the next question, madam. Calculate the magnetic dipole moment. Magnetic dipole moment corresponding to the motion of the electron in the ground state of a hydrogen atom. Okay, so we need to calculate the magnetic dipole moment which is been corresponding to the motion of the electron in the ground state of your hydrogen atom. Magnetic dipole moment beta, when a particle is moving in a circular path like this, isn't it? And this is your electron right now. This is E minus, and it is moving with a velocity of your V, and this is your radius R. Okay, so magnetic moment is represented by capital M. R, it is represented by your mu. That is nothing but what? Product of current into area. So how do you calculate the current? I is equals to Q by your time period T. That is equals to Q into 2 pi into your R divided by your V. That is equals to E into V by 2 pi into your R. Area of this coil will be equal to pi into your R square. So magnetic moment will be equal to your E into V divided by 2 pi into your R into area will be pi into your R square. This R square, this R will get cancelled. This pi will get cancelled. So it is EV into R divided by 2. Velocity of your nth orbit is how much? 2.2 into 10 to the power of 6 Z by your n meter per second. And radius of your nth orbit you already know, 0.53 into n square divided by Z angstroms. Or else this one is 0.53 into 10 to the power of minus 10 into n square divided by Z meters. Now for hydrogen like atom, if I am talking about, for hydrogen, Z is equals to 1 comma n is equals to 1 ground state. So magnetic moment will be equal to E into V1 into R1 divided by your 2. So that will be equal to charge of electron is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 into velocity is 2 point of nth orbit 2.2 into 10 to the power of 6 into 0.53 into 10 to the power of minus 10, because Z is 1 and n is also equal to 1 divided by your 2 divided by 2. So that will give me the answer. Tell me what is the answer.
0.93 into 10 to the power of minus 23.
ఎంతనా 0.93
93
into 10 to the power of
minus 23.
-23. దీన్ని ఇంకా ఎట్లా రాసుకోవచ్చు నేను 9.3 into 10 to the power of ఎంత
minus 24.
వెరీ గుడ్ -24. యూనిట్ ఏమైతే చెప్తారు ఎవరన్నా యూనిట్ చూడండి ఫార్ములా ఏంది మనకు మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ మూమెంట్ m is equals to I into A కదా current is measured in
Cool.
current is measured in
Ampere.
ampere. Area is measured in
meter per second.
మీటర్ పర్ సెకండ్ అండి ఎవడు రావాడు పండ్లు
Sir,
రాళ్ళు
meter per
కూడా
second.
ఏరియా రా ఆంపియర్ మీటర్ స్క్వేర్ ఏరియా మీటర్ స్క్వేర్ కదా ఏరియా ఇస్ లెంత్ ఇంటూ బ్రెత్
Yes, sir, meter square.
చలో ఈ క్వశ్చన్ మీరే చేయాలన్న యూజింగ్ ద known values for hydrogen atom, for your hydrogen atom calculate number 1 radius of third orbit for lithium plus 2. And the second question is speed of electron in fourth orbit for helium plus. Okay, chalo try cheyandi. Using the known values for the hydrogen atom, calculate the number 1 radius of the third orbit for lithium plus 2 and number 2 speed of the electron in the fourth orbit for your helium plus. Try chesara, try cheyandi. Using the known values of for hydrogen atom, calculate the radius of the third orbit for the lithium plus 2.
.53 first one.
First one enta 0.5 enta radius of nth orbit formula enta 0.53 into n square divided by z angstroms. n enta ichadu third orbit kada radius of the third orbit z value will be equal to how much beta lithium plus 2 ante z is equals to 3 ante r3 will be equal to 0.53. This one is nothing but of your n square antena n square enta 3 into 3 that is 9 divided by z value is 3 3 ones are 3 3s are. This will be equal to 0.53 into your 3. So ఎంత అవుతుంది ఇది 3 3s are 9 3 5s are 15 and 1 అంటే 1.59 angstroms వచ్చిందా. This is the first question. Second question answer చెప్పండి. What is second question answer? Speed of the electron in the fourth orbit for helium plus. చెప్పాలి ఎవరన్నా. Speed of electron in the fourth orbit for helium plus చెప్పాలా. అంటే n is equals to 4 and z is equals to ఎంత 2. So velocity of your nth orbit formula ఎంత 2.2 into 10 to the power of 6 into z by your n meter per second. ఇది క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయండి ఎంత వస్తుంది 2. into 10 to the power of 6 into z value is 2, n value is 4. 2 ones are 2 twos are. And this one will be 2 ones are. This is 1.1. This one is 1.1 into 10 to the power of 6 meter per second. Which in the clear? Sure. Next question, Jordan. A small particle of mass m moves in such a way that the potential energy U is equals to half into m into omega square r square, where omega is a constant, and r is the distance of the particle from the origin. Assuming Bohr's model of quantization of angular momentum, and circular orbits, find the radius of nth orbit. Find the radius of your nth orbit. First, try to read the question, everyone, clearly, beta. We got a small particle of mass m, which is moving in such a way that the potential energy associated with that one is U is equals to half into m into omega square r square, where omega is a constant and r is the distance of the particle from the origin. Assuming the Bohr's model of quantization of angular momentum and circular orbits are valid, find the radius of your nth orbit. So, manaku potential energy ichadu kabatti I can calculate the force kada nanna. So, how do you calculate the energy? Given for me, U is equals to half into m into omega square into r square. So, force will be equal to how much? F is equals to, from the first year chapter, U by R. Potential gradient is nothing but of your force. So, that is equals to minus of your D. U value is half into m into omega square into r square divided by your dr. So, in this one, half into m into your omega square is out. This is the differentiation of your r square divided by dr. Differentiation of r square enta nanna? Differentiation of r square enta?
2r.
2r. This will become for me how much now? So this will be equal to your half into m into omega square into 2 times of your r. E2 వెళ్ళిపోతే force ఎంత వస్తుంది? F is equals to m into omega square into r. So this is the force which has been acting. Negative sign కూడా ఉంది కదా దీనికి negative sign కూడా ఉంది ఇక్కడ. This is negative sign. So this is your force. Okay. Negative sign shows that force is attractive. Negative sign shows that force is attractive. Force is your attractive. So F will be equal to m into v square by r. Bohr's model quantization clearly applicable అవుతుంది కాబట్టి centripetal force. So from this one I can write m into v square will be equal to your how much? mv square by your r will be equal to your force. Force already how much we got right now? I'll write here this force right now. This force how much we got? Minus of m omega square part of relation. So it is m into your omega square into r. Omega square into r, that is equals to m into v square divided by r. This m will get cancelled. And this r will get go here right now. So v square is equals to r square omega square. So that means v is equals to his beta.
Sir, ikkada centripetal force em తీసుకున్నాం sir?
Because in the problem అన్నాడు కదా, assuming the Bohr's model of quantization of angular momentum in circular orbits.
Okay sir.
అవునా కదా, circular orbits అంటే what is the force responsible for a particle to move in the centripetal force? Centripetal కదా.
Yes sir. Circular అంటే
So v is equals to ఎంత r into your omega. Angular momentum కూడా కన్సర్వ్ అవుతున్నాడు, అవునా కదా. అంటే from second postulate we know mv into r is equals to n into h by your 2 pi. అవునా కదా. సో v వాల్యూ తీసుకొచ్చి దీంట్లో వేసేసుకో. సో ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ సబ్స్టిట్యూటింగ్ దిస్ v వాల్యూ ఇన్ దిస్ వన్, సో ఇట్ ఈస్ n v is equals to r into omega into r, that is equals to n into h divided by 2 pi, isn't it? So anything is getting cancelled in this one? No. So it is m into r square into omega is equals to n into h divided by 2 into pi. మనకు కావాల్సింది రేడియస్. సో రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ nth ఆర్బిట్ అంటే ఏమైపోతుంది? రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ nth ఆర్బిట్ అంటే ఇదే కదా. Rn is equals to under root of your, this will become for me n into your h divided by 2 pi m into your omega. So this is the radius of your nth orbit. వచ్చిందా? క్లారిటీ వచ్చిందా? మరోసారి చూసుకున్నాను. If there is any doubt, you please let me know. Good question. Sure. Let's try to do one more question. Suppose
సార్ ప్రీవియస్ దాంట్లో సార్ NH by 2 pi అంటే ఒమేగా సార్?
ఏనా
NH by 2 pi అంటే ఒమేగానా సార్?
సెకండ్ పోస్టులేట్ ఏంటి? n into h by 2 pi కదా బోర్స్ మోడల్ లో.
అవును సార్.
సెకండ్ పోస్టులేట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్. ఎందుకని వాడు ఏమన్నాడు? అజ్యూమింగ్ ద బోర్స్ మోడల్ క్వాంటైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ యాంగులర్ మొమెంటం అండ్ సర్క్యులర్ ఆర్బిట్స్ అన్నాడు. ఈ రెండు అజంప్షన్ చేయాలా. we need to assume the angular momentum quantization. Angular momentum quantization అంటే ఏంది? L is equals to n into h by 2 pi. సర్క్యులర్ మోషన్ లో మూవ్ అవుతుందంటే ఫోర్స్ is equals to how much for me? mv square by r. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే సార్.
నెక్స్ట్ ఇలాంటిది ఇంకో క్వశ్చన్ ఇస్తున్నాను, ట్రై చేయండి మీరు అందరూ. సపోజ్ potential energy between electron and proton at a separation r is given by u is equals to k into log of e into your r, where k is a constant, for such a hypothetical hydrogen atom, comma, calculate the radius of nth Bohr's orbit, and its energy level, So read the question and try to do it. Suppose the potential energy between electron and the proton at a separation r is given by u. అంటే previous లా ఇక్కడ కూడా potential energy ఎంత ఇచ్చింది? Potential energy was given as half into m into omega square r square. దాంట్లో మనం ఏం calculation? Force calculation. So force నుంచి మనకు ఏం తెలిసింది? Kinetic energy. So where k is a constant for such a hypothetical hydrogen atom, calculate the radius of your nth Bohr's orbit and its energy level. So radius అయితే calculate చేస్తారు తర్వాత సేమ్ quantization condition తీసుకొని చేస్తారా? ఫోర్స్ ఎంత వస్తుంది చెప్పండి ఎవరన్నా? given u is equals to k into log of your e into your r. So force will be equal to how much beta? Minus of your du divided by your dr. ఎంత వచ్చిందన్న? This is minus
సార్ 1/r వస్తుంది సార్.
Minus k by r, sir.
log e into r divided by your dr. So this will be equal to how much for me? Minus of your k by your r. వచ్చింది అందరికి ఇది f. So f is equals to minus of k by r. Again minus k represents me what beta? Force of attraction, nothing to do with the calculation purpose. This force will be equal to how much? Centripetal force kabatti mv square by r will be equal to k by your r, isn't it? So from this one, if I'm simplifying the relation, so m into v square will be equal to how much for me? K. Okay, m into v square is equals to your k. This is my equation number 1. Okay, then from angular momentum quantization, mv into r, second postulate, n into h by over 2 pi. Okay, so from this one I can write mv will be equal to how much for me? mv square undi kabatti m into v can be written as of your what beta? Ikkada nunchi chudandi, idi can I write like this?
Under
m
root m
into v into your v is equals to your k. Okay, v square undi kada, so v square రాసుకోవచ్చు డైరెక్ట్లీ ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, v ఉంది కాబట్టి దీని నుంచి డైరెక్ట్ v square రాసుకోవచ్చు కదా. సో v square is equals to how much for me? అంటే v will be equal to your I'll write here itself from equation 1. I'll write here from equation 1 we can write v is equals to under root of your k by your m. రాసుకోవచ్చా? Okay, this is your equation number 2. So it is m into v is equals to under root of your k by your m into your r is equals to n into h divided by 2 into pi. And what do you do? Squaring on both sides. Squaring both sides, we get m square k by your m into your r square is equals to n square h square divided by 4 into your pi square. That means radius r is nothing but radius of nth orbit kada. That is equals to n square h square divided by 4 into pi square k into your m to the power of your 1 by 2. So this is your radius of your nth orbit. Vachinda? Simple calculation. దాని తర్వాత ఏమన్నాడు? ఎనర్జీ లెవెల్ అన్నాడు. You know that total energy of your orbit will be equal to how much beta? Total energy, second question in this one, total energy of your electron which has been revolving, that is E. So E will be equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Kinetic energy is half into m into v square plus potential energy is k into log of E into your R. So that is equals to half into m into v square. M into v square can be written as beta. M into v square can be written as chudandi. M into
K.
v square can be written as of your k. That means this can be written as of your k by 2 plus this one is k into your log of your E into R. R value is how much here? N square h square divided by 4 into your pi square k into your m to the power of your 1 by 2. So this is your total energy answer. Okay na? Is that clear? అర్థమైందా? క్లియర్ అన్నాను?
సార్ ఇక్కడ సార్ ఎంవిఆర్ ఫార్ములా ఈక్వల్ టు ఎన్హెచ్ బై 2 పై ఫార్ములా ఎప్పుడు యూజ్ చేస్తారు
ఏదిరా?
సార్? ఎంవిఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎన్హెచ్ బై 2 పై.
ఇది బోర్స్ క్వాంటైజేషన్ యూజ్ చేసినప్పుడు రా. ఎందుకంటే వాడు ఇక్కడ ఏమన్నాడు, ఫర్ సచ్ అన్ హైపోథెటికల్ హైడ్రోజన్ ఆటమ్ క్యాల్కులేట్ ద రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ nth ఆర్బిట్ అన్నాడు. అంటే బోర్స్ మోడల్ అన్ని అప్లికబుల్ అవుతాయి. ఫస్ట్ లా, సెకండ్ లో, ఫస్ట్ పాస్టులేట్, సెకండ్ పాస్టులేట్, థర్డ్ పాస్టులేట్ ఆర్ 3 పాస్టులేట్స్ తీసుకొని మనము థింక్ చేయాలి ఏది మనకు కండిషన్ వస్తుంది కదా అని. ఫస్ట్ పాస్టులేట్ నుంచి నీకు ఫోర్స్ వస్తుంది, సెకండ్ పాస్టులేట్ నుంచి నీకు వెలాసిటీయో లేకపోతే యాంగులర్ మొమెంటమో లేకపోతే వెలాసిటీయో యాంగులర్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ టైం పీరియడ్ అవన్నీ మనకు సెకండ్ దాని నుంచి వస్తాయి కదా.
ఓకే సార్.
బోర్స్ మోడల్ అప్లికబుల్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి ఈ రిలేషన్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం. బోర్స్ మోడల్ అప్లికబుల్ లేదు అనుకుంటే మాత్రం మళ్ళీ ఇది అప్లికబుల్ కాదు మళ్ళీ మనం.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకేనా? ఇంకో మోడల్ చేయండి అన్న ఇలాంటి దానిపైన. ఏ యూనిఫామ్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్, a uniform magnetic field, uniform magnetic field capital B exist in a region, first of an electron projected perpendicular to the field, goes in a circle, assuming Bohr's quantization అంటే సెకండ్ పోస్టులేట్ మళ్ళా Bohr's quantization rule for angular momentum, calculate number A, the radius of the nth orbit, and number B, the minimum possible speed, of the electron. Okay, chalo try చేయండి. A uniform magnetic field B exists in an electron is projected perpendicular, goes in a circle. ఎందుకు రీసౌండ్ అవుతుంది రా ఇది? Okay. Assuming the Bohr's quantization rule for the angular momentum, calculate the radius of nth orbit. చేస్తారా? ఫస్ట్ వన్ ట్రై చేయండి. నెంబర్ A, to move in circle centripetal force is being provided by what beta? Magnetic force కదా. అంటే mv square by your r will be equal to force. Force is nothing but b into q into v. Antena? So from this one I can get the velocity. V is equals to b into e into r. E velocity square వెళ్ళిపోతుంది కాబట్టి b into r divided by your m. This is your velocity because you are projecting a charge particle perpendicular to the magnetic field. So obviously the force on the charge particle is bqv into your sine 90. Sine 90 is 1 kabatti. So this one is b into e into your v. Value istunnanu. Then from second postulate, that is mv into r is equals to n into h divided by 2 into pi. So from this one I can write m into v value we got right now, b into e into r divided by your m into your r is equals to n into h divided by 2 into pi. This mass will get cancelled. So this will become for me how much? R into r. This will become for me r square. That is equals to n into h divided by 2 pi into your b into your e. So that is your radius of the given condition. Or r is equals to under root of your n into your h divided by 2 pi into your n part of relation. So radius of nth orbit another kabatti r is equals to rn. So that will be equal to under root of your n into your h divided by your 2 pi into your b into your e. So this is your value of your r. So r is equals to rn, that is equals to under root of n into h divided by 2 pi into your b into your e part of relation. Clear andarki? Ade vidhanga number b. What is number b is asking? The minimum possible speed for the electron. Minimum possible speed ante velocity of nth orbit. We already know the value of v. V is equals to b into e, your m into your r. So velocity of your nth orbit is equals to b into small e divided by your m into radius of nth orbit. That is equals to b into small e divided by your m. Radius of your nth orbit ante this will be equal to your n into your h divided by 2 pi b into your e. Okay. So if I simplify this one, velocity of your nth orbit is equals to under root of your n into h into e into your b. Local వెళ్ళిపోతుందా divided by this one is 2 pi into your m square. B square లోపల వెళ్ళిపోతే ఇది cancel అయిపోతుంది. So this is your velocity of nth orbit. For Vn to be minimum, what is the condition beta? For velocity Vn to be minimum, n value ఎంత అవ్వాలా? 1 అవ్వాలి. అంతేనా? n value will be equal to 1. That will be the minimum value. So V minimum will be equal to, V minimum is equals to under root of your h into e into b divided by 2 pi into your m square. So this will be the minimum velocity. Okay now? Clear? Salam. Come on. ఇంకా పంప్ చేశారా నన్ను ఇలాంటిది? నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఖాళీ నంబర్ చేద్దాం చూడండి. The electric potential between a proton and an electron is given by V is equals to V naught ln of your R by your R naught, where R naught is a constant. So, assuming Bohr's model to be applicable, write variation of Rn with n being the principal quantum number. Give the option. Radius of n is directly proportional to n. Second one, radius of n is inversely proportional to 1 by n. Third one, radius of your n is directly proportional to n square. And fourth one, radius of your n is inversely proportional to 1 by n square. Try చేయండి అందరూ. I'm not going to tell you. You please try to tell me the answer for this one. మీరు చేయాలి అందరూ. V ఇచ్చాడు, పొటెన్షియల్ ఎనర్జీ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి. ఎలక్ట్రోస్టాటిక్స్ లో ఆల్రెడీ మీకు రిలేషన్ తెలుసు. గివెన్ V is equals to ఎంత, V naught into ln of your R by your R naught. సో పొటెన్షియల్ ఎనర్జీ ఎంత అవుతుంది? పొటెన్షియల్ ఎనర్జీ U ఎలా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాం నాన్న? U is equals to minus of your E into V. అంతేనా? So that is equals to minus of your E. V is equals to V naught. This one is ln R by your R naught. So this will be your potential energy. Once you know the potential energy, you calculate the force. F is equals to minus of your du by your dr. దాన్ని క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసి సెకండ్ పోస్టులేట్ యాంగులర్ మొమెంటం కన్సర్వ్ చేసి రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ ఎంత ఆర్బిట్ తీసుకురండి. ఫార్ములా ఎంత వస్తుంది చెప్పండి నాకు. पानी दो. F value ఎంత వస్తుంది ఎవరు చెప్తారు? F is equals to minus of your du by your dr. That is equals to minus of d. U value ఎంత వచ్చిందన్న? Minus of your E into V naught ln of your R by your R naught divided by your dr. అంటే this will be equal to your how much? MM వస్తున్నా చెప్పండి బయటికి. E into V naught will be out. Ln of your R naught will also be your out part of relation. So this will be equal to E into V naught divided by R by your R naught into this will be equal to 1 by your R naught. And this will become for me under root of E will be equal to how much for me? This ఎంత వస్తుంది మనకు? E into your V naught. E R naught get cancel కాబట్టి this will be equal to your R. So this is your force. So F is equals to ఎంత వచ్చింది? F is equals to E into V naught divided by R. F is equals to M into V square divided by R. That is equals to E into V naught divided by R. ER వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. దీనిలోంచి వెలాసిటీ వచ్చింది. V is equals to under root of your E into V naught divided by your M. So this is the velocity. ఒకవేళ అడిగితే ఇది.
సార్ క్వశ్చన్ లో R naught కాన్స్టెంట్ అని చెప్పింది కదా సార్.
ఏనా నాన్ ఆర్ నాట్ కాన్స్టెంట్ కదా
మరి
ఇక్కడ
డిఫరెన్షియేట్ కాదు కదా సార్.
ఇది ఆర్ డిఫరెన్షియేట్ అవుతుంది కదా 1/r0 బయటికి తీసుకొస్తే
1/r అవుతుంది సార్, 1/r0 కాదు కదా సార్.
ఏనా
సార్ ఇక్కడ లాగ్ r/r0 ఉంది కదా సార్, అంటే 1/r అవుతుంది
ln
కానీ
r will be equal to how much for me 1/r కదా
సార్ 1/r. మీరు 1/r0 రాశారు సార్ ఇక్కడ, అందుకే.
EV0 ల ln of r ల 1/r కాబట్టి 1/r.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఇంకేముంది
సార్ డిఫరెన్షియేషన్ ఆఫ్ r/r0 1/r0 సార్, కరెక్టే సార్.
కరెక్ట్ కదా
అవును సార్.
సో మనకి ఏమొచ్చింది, ఇది v వచ్చింది. సెకండ్ పాస్టులేట్ ని ఈక్వేట్ చేయండి ఇప్పుడు. what is second postulate? mv into r is equals to n into your h divided by 2 pi. అవునా? సో వెలాసిటీ ఎంత వచ్చిందన్న మనం పొటెన్షియల్ లో వచ్చిందా మనకి ఇది, అంతేనా?
అంతే సార్.
ఓకే, సో ఈ వాల్యూని దీన్ని సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసుకుంటే ఎంత వస్తుంది చూడు. రైట్ నో ఆర్ కావాలి ఇప్పుడు మనకు. ఆర్ ఇస్ ఈక్వల్స్ ఇది ఎంత వస్తుంది, n into your h divided by, ఇక్కడ ఎంత వచ్చింది, n into your h divided by 2 pi into your ఎంత m into v, అంతేనా? అంతేనా?
ఎస్ సార్.
సో v వాల్యూ వచ్చింది కాబట్టి v వాల్యూని సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసి ఆన్సర్ చెప్పండి ఎంత వస్తుంది. v వాల్యూ ఎంత వచ్చింది, √of e into v0 by m.
అవును సార్.
So r is equals to n into your h divided by 2 pi into your m into v. ఇక్కడ కూడా రూట్ వస్తుంది. So this will be equal to e into v0 divided by your m. So దీన్ని సింప్లిఫై చేయండి, రేడియస్ ఎంత వస్తుంది చూడండి.
nh by 2 pi.
nh by
2 pi
2 pi
into under root of e v0 m.
e v0 into m. వచ్చిందా? So this is your answer. Now which option is matching? Can you tell me? Which option is matching? I have given you the option. Radius of nth orbit directly proportional to n, inversely proportional to n square into inversely proportional to 1 by n square.
Directly proportional.
Rn is directly proportional to your n. Vachinda? So which option? First option will be the answer. Clear?
Yes sir.
So shall I give you some more problems? Chala. So ఇప్పుడు ఎనర్జీ రిలేషన్స్ అప్లై చేయడం అర్థమైంది కదా బోర్స్ మోడల్ లా. సెకండ్ పోస్టులేట్ ఎలా అప్లై చేస్తాం, థర్డ్ పోస్టులేట్ ఎలా అప్లై చేస్తాం, అన్ని క్లియరా? ఓకేనా? ఎవరు మాట్లాడారంటారా?
ఓకే సార్.
ఈ ఒక్క క్వశ్చన్ మీరు ట్రై చేసి చెప్పండి, దెన్ విల్ గో ఫర్ ద నెక్స్ట్ టాపిక్. మనకి వీకెండ్ సిలబస్ అయిపోయింది కదా. చలో రైట్ దిస్ క్వశ్చన్ బేటా. an orbital electron in the ground state, in your ground state of hydrogen, in a ground state of your hydrogen has an angular momentum, L1, and an orbital electron in the first orbit in the ground state of lithium, has an angular momentum has an angular momentum L2.
Orbital electron.
L1 is equals to L2. L1 is equals to 3 times of L2. L2 is equals to 3 times of L1. And fourth one is L2 is equals to 9 times of L1. Chapal. Angular electron in orbital electron in the ground state of hydrogen atom has an angular momentum L1, and orbital electron in the first orbit in the ground state of lithium has an angular momentum of L2. Chapalo. Direct question, bro.
Sir, L1 equals to L2. Sir.
L1 is equals to L2. Very good. ఎందుకని
Sir, n equals to 1 కదా sir. రెండిటికి
L is equals to n into h by 2 pi. అంతే కదా. It is independent of z కదా.
Yes, sir.
It is independent of your z. Atomic number పైన depend అవ్వదు. So initial angular momentum will be equal to final angular momentum. So L1 will be equal to L2. Very good. వచ్చింది అందరికి. Share with the continuous of this way. For this. Question random, sir. Very good question. Let AN be area enclosed by the nth orbit in a hydrogen atom. The graph of ln AN by your A1 versus ln n. Sure. First option for this one will pass through the origin. Second one is will be your straight line with slope 4, and number 3 will be monotonically increasing non-linear curve, and fourth one is will be circle. Multiple answering will be a circle. See which option you can match for this. వచ్చేసిందా? Area of nth orbit divided by area of your first orbit. Area ఎలా రాస్తాం నాన్న సర్క్యులర్ పాత్ లో pi into rn square divided by pi into your r1 square. This one gets cancelled. Radius of nth orbit అంటే 0.53 into your n square whole square divided by first orbit కాబట్టి 0.53. n value will be equal to 1. And this one will be equal to how much? 0.53 whole square will get cancelled. That's almost all like a constant kada. And I can write this one as n to the power of 4. Ana? An by your a1 will be equal to some constant and n to the power of 4. Antena? So taking log on both sides. Taking log on both sides. If I take the log on both sides, this will become for me ln of your an by your a1 is equals to ln of your n to the power of 4. This will become for me 4 into ln n. So what will be the slope? Y will be equal to 4 into your x. Ante slope will be equal to how much for me? 4 kada, isn't it? The same way, ln of your an divided by a1 versus ln of your n graph. Ln of your n graph. ఎలా అవుతుంది చెప్పండి? Straight line కదా? Graph will be, it will be a straight line of slope 4. Antena? So answer will be equal to how much? Will pass through the origin and it will be a straight line with a slope of 4. हाँ, 2-2 घंटे क्लास. అభినవ్ నవ్వుకుంటున్నాడు. चलो 10 exciting बेटा. Energy of electron in nth orbit. So we need to calculate the energy of electron in your nth orbit. This here kinetic energy K is equals to half into m into v square, and that is equals to your z into e square divided by 8 into pi into epsilon naught into r. అదే విధంగా potential energy u is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into z into e into minus of your e divided by r. అంతే కదా, న్యూక్లియస్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ రివాల్వింగ్ ఇన్ ద సర్క్యులర్ ఆర్బిట్. సో పొటెన్షియల్ ఎనర్జీ ఎంత వస్తుంది, మైనస్ ఆఫ్ z into e square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into r. So this one is your potential energy. Now if I am writing the total energy E is equals to k plus of your u. So E is equals to k value is how much for me, z into e square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught into r plus this one is minus of your z into e square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into r. So it is plus minus 1 by 8 minus 1 by 4. So how much will be getting right now this one? ఎంత వస్తుందన్న?
minus 1 by 8.
Minus z into e square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught into r. So this will be your total energy. Antena? Now putting the value of your Rn. Putting value of your R, E is equals to energy of your nth orbit is equals to minus of z into e square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught into radius of nth orbit ante h square epsilon naught antena into your n square divided by r value kabatti r value nenu in terms of this one relation rastunanu pi into m into e square into your z antena radius of your nth orbit. So energy of your nth orbit is equals to minus of m into e to the power of 4 అన్ని కాన్స్టెంట్స్ బయటికి తీసుకొచ్చేస్తున్నాను 8 into h square into epsilon naught square ఇది మొత్తం ఒక కాన్స్టెంట్ into your z square by your n square. So energy of nth orbit is equals to ఇది మొత్తం కాన్స్టెంట్ కాబట్టి దీని వాల్యూ సింప్లిఫై చేస్తే 13.6 into z square divided by n square. Unit will be electron volt. This is the energy of your nth orbit. Okay, so energy of your nth orbit is directly proportional to z square by n square. Energy of nth orbit is directly proportional to your m. Kinetic energy of your nth orbit is equals to your minus of En. Potential energy of nth orbit is equals to 2 times of energy of your nth orbit. Okay. En అంటే ఏంటన్నా total energy of electron in the nth orbit. Total energy is what? See, negative, that is electron is bonded to the nucleus అని అర్థం. Electron is bonded to the nucleus అని అర్థం basically. Clear? Is it clear? So energy of your nth orbit ఎంత వచ్చింది? Energy of nth orbit is this one, and directly proportional to mass. This one is En and this one is your Un. Very important relations. Okay. So we got the energy of the electron in your nth orbit part of relation also. Clear?
సార్ kinetic energy దగ్గర సార్ జెడ్ ఇంటూ ఈ స్క్వేర్ ఎట్లా వచ్చింది సార్ అది?
ఏందన్నా?
సార్ kinetic energy ke equal to z into e square by అది. అదే సార్ అక్కడ పైన.
ఇదా closest distance of approach ఉంది కదరా ఫస్ట్ లా మనకు బేసికల్ గా. And the kinetic energy part is being taken, half into m into v square will be equal to how much for me? చూడు closest distance of approach లా ఇది మీకు ఇది ఐడియా లేదా? మీరు కెమిస్ట్రీలో కూడా చదివింటారు కదా. డిస్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ closest approach. Closest approach. Alpha particle scattering experiment. Okay. మన దగ్గర ఇది న్యూక్లియస్ అనుకుందాం. ఇది న్యూక్లియస్ అని అనుకుంటే, సో when a charge particle is projected towards this one, ఇక్కడ నుంచి, so when a charge particle is projected with velocity v, this is your mass m and velocity of this one is of your v. Okay. ఈ చార్జ్ పార్టికల్ ఇట్లా ముందు పోయి ఇది న్యూక్లియస్ తో రిపల్ అయి ఏమైపోతుంది, మళ్ళీ రిటర్న్ వస్తుంది. సో పాయింట్ వేర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గెటింగ్ రిపల్డ్, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ క్లోజెస్ట్ డిస్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ అప్రోచ్. అవునా కదా? సో కైనెటిక్ ఎనర్జీ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్, ఎనర్జీ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్ రైట్ నౌ, ద ఎంటైర్ కైనెటిక్ ఎనర్జీ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్ ఈస్ బీన్, ఇది వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు దీనికి ఏముంటే కైనెటిక్ ఎనర్జీ ఉంటాయి కదా, ఈ కైనెటిక్ ఎనర్జీ మొత్తం దేనిలో కన్వర్ట్ అయింది? పొటెన్షియల్ ఎనర్జీలో కన్వర్ట్ అయిపోయింది. So this kinetic energy will be equal to your potential energy between these two pair. That is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Z1 into E into Z2 into your E divided by your R. అవునా కదా? So from this one R value గనక రాసుకుంటే R is equals to Z1 into E into your Z2 into E divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into your K. Okay, that is your radius. Kinetic energy la rastam here right now, ante total kinetic energy of this one half into m into v square will be equal to how much for me? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into your, this one is nothing but Z1 into E into your Z2 divided by your R. Okay na? K is what here? Kinetic energy of your incident particle. Z1 into E is what beta? Z1 into E is nothing but charge on particle. Charge on your particle. Z2 into E is what? Z2 into E is nothing but charge on nucleus. Charge on your nucleus. K is nothing but what? K is equals to kinetic energy of incident particle. Kinetic energy of your incident particle, and V is your speed of incident particle. Speed of your incident particle. Okay. M is equals to mass. R is a distance of closest approach. R is your distance of your closest approach. Okay na?
Okay, sir.
లేకపోతే వెలాసిటీ ఆఫ్ కైనెటిక్ ఎనర్జీ చేసుకున్నా కూడా సరిపోతుంది. ఇట్లా కూడా రాసుకోవచ్చు. కైనెటిక్ ఎనర్జీ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు హాఫ్ ఇంటూ ఎం ఇంటూ వి స్క్వేర్ కదా. వెలాసిటీ ఆఫ్ nth ఆర్బిట్ ఎంత? వెలాసిటీ ఆఫ్ nth ఆర్బిట్ ఈస్ z ఇంటూ ఈ స్క్వేర్ divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into m into r v square value. So that is equals to half into your m v square value z into e square divided by, this will become for me 4 into pi into epsilon naught into m into your r. em వెళ్ళిపోతుంది కాబట్టి z into your e square divided by 4 into 2 is 8 pi epsilon naught into your r. So this also, from here also you can get the kinetic energy. Okay na? Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
ఈ ప్రాబ్లం చూడండి, క్లోజెస్ట్ డిస్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ అప్రోచ్ పైన calculate the nearest distance of approach of an alpha particle of energy 2.5 mega electron volt, which is being scattered नहीं मेरे को ना यार एक लिख एक रखो मैं बस by a gold nucleus where Z is equals to 79. Nearest distance of closest approach nana idi nucleus isn't it? This is 79 times of your E on a kada. So from here the charge particle is being moving here right now with a velocity of your V. This is what particle? Alpha particle. So when alpha particle was being incident right now here, it will go up to here. Both of them positive వల్ల ఏమైపోతుంది, రిపల్ అయిపోతుంది, రిపల్ అయ్యి రిటర్న్ వస్తుంది. So this is your closest distance of approach. When it is returning here, final velocity is how much for me? 0. Initial velocity is V. So kinetic energy formula also manaku K is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2 into E into Z. Z value is 79 into your E divided by your R. So manaku kavalsindi R. So R will be equal to 79 into E square divided by this one is nothing but equal to your 2. Antena? Divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into your K. So that one is 79 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 whole square into 2 divided by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 to the power of 9. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value is 9 into 10 to the power of antena. ఈ R ఇక్కడ వెళ్ళిపోయింది కాబట్టి 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 to the power of your 9. కరెక్ట్ రాస్తున్నాను. Into K. K value ఎంత ఇచ్చాడు? 2.5 mega electron volt. That means this one is 2.5. Mega means 10 to the power of 6. Electron volt means 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Then simplify చేయండి, will be getting the answer. చూడండి ఎంత వస్తుంది. ఎంత వస్తుంది? అరే 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught వాల్యూ అంటే పైకి వస్తుంది కదా ఇది, సారీ. అంతే కదా 1/4 epsilon naught value రా ఎలక్ట్రోస్టాటిక్స్ లో 1/4 epsilon naught value ఎంత 9 into 10 to the power of 9 కదా so 1/4 epsilon naught is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 79 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 whole square into 2 divided by 2.5 into 10 to the power of 6 mega కాబట్టి electron volt 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 నేను సింప్లిఫై చేయండి విల్ గెట్ ది ఆన్సర్ ఓకే అది ఎంత వస్తుందో చూసుకోండి సార్ గ్రాఫ్ చూడండి అన్న ఫస్ట్ వన్ if I am drawing the graph between radius of your nth orbit and z, what will be the graph? The same way, if I am drawing the graph between radius of nth orbit and n, what will be the graph? Then radius of your nth orbit and principal quantum number 1 by n. Okay, రెండు రాశాం కదా సరిపోతుంది. Okay, same way, velocity of your nth orbit versus your n graph. Velocity of your nth orbit versus your z. Tell me the graphs. Radius of your nth orbit is proportional to n square by z kada, and radius of your nth orbit is inversely proportional to your mass. So this will be your rectangular hyperbola like this, and this one will be the like this parabola. Velocity of nth orbit and this one is how much better? Velocity of nth orbit is proportional to z by n. Velocity of your nth orbit is proportional to m to the power of 0. m to raste avuna kada. So velocity of this one will be what? A rectangular hyperbola like this. Velocity of this one is directly proportional to z kabatti this one. Okay, దీంట్లో ఇంకోటి రాసుకోవచ్చు ఇక్కడ radius of your nth orbit proportional to your m. Okay, so that will be a graph what?
rectangular hyperbola.
దీని కూడా రెక్టాంగులర్ హైపర్బోలానే వస్తుంది. ఇది కరెక్టే రాశాను. y is equals to n square parabola కరెక్టే. z inversely proportional కరెక్టే. కరెక్టే అంతేనా? గ్రాఫ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ కొన్ని ట్రై చేయండి అన్న. అండ్ అది ఆల్ఫా పార్టికల్స్ స్కాటరింగ్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ ఇది నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ఫా పార్టికల్స్ రీచింగ్ కండిషన్స్ అవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. ఒకసారి అది గోత్రూ చేయండి అన్న. అది ఫార్ములా మన మెటల్ లో కూడా వచ్చాడు, అది NCERT లో కూడా ఇచ్చాడో లేదో నాకు ఐడియా లేదు. సో జస్ట్ ట్రై టు గో త్రూ ద నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ పార్టికల్స్ స్కాటరింగ్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ ఫార్ములా. ఓకేనా?
Sir, notes in.
వచ్చింది అందరికి నోట్స్?